What's up, Scrappy peeps? It's Del from Inkie Quill, and today I've got a little bonus video for you, a little midweek extra dose of inkiness, and I've got a very multiple photo layout. So this is 5 photos on a 9x12. There's 4 3x4s, and then that little one of his tootsies is a 3x3. I'm using the Boys Rule collection, which is the new collection from Cocoa Vanilla, which is full of all really nice blues. There's a hint of lime green, which I am going to try and brave and use. Not on the first layout though. This was the first page that I made using the collection. I can't be that brave straight up, but there's some really great stickers and all sorts of embellishments for you to check out. I'll put the link to my blog post for the Cocoa Vanilla DT in the comments down below as well. I decided I wanted to go with a watercolory look, and you can see that I accidentally got some black in there, so we're just kind of covering that up and pretending it didn't happen. I'm using my Winsor & Newton watercolors, which are the ones I always use, and then while the watercolors are wet, I'm patting it with my paper towel. And if you do that with a paper towel that has like a rib design in it, it actually transfers the pattern onto the watercolor and makes it look like you've done some stenciling when really you haven't. Next up, I wanted to add a touch of blue because a lot of the embellishments in the collection have blue tones in them or kind of darker tones, so I wanted to do a brighter blue just to contrast them a little bit. And I'm using a stencil from my stash. I'm pretty sure it's one from Flutter by Designs that I've just pulled out. And I'm just kind of stamping it here, there and everywhere. I roughly know where my photos are going, but I don't know for sure. I haven't penciled the marks in where they're going. So I'm just experimenting a little bit and putting it where I think it will be seen. I know a lot of it will be covered up, and that's okay. That's part of doing mixed media backgrounds. So next up, I felt like it needed something else in the background as well. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to try and do some modeling paste or it needed something else. So I grabbed my heat gun and just dried that, and then grabbed another stencil from my stash. This one could also be, I don't know where this one's from. Could be Flutter by Designs, could not be. It's just an old one from my stash. And I'm just using my 0.05 Staedtler pigment liner just to outline some of these stencils. And this is a technique that I always forget to do, but it's very, very easy, requires no mixed media materials, no mess, and it can really give an effective look to a background. You could even do this over the top of like a subtle background paper. I know in this Boys Rule collection there's quite a few pages that have, it looks like a watercolor or painted background, so you get away with the look of mixed media without actually pulling out any paints, which is really handy, especially if you're starting with mixed media or if you're in a rush and you can't get messy. I often have those tiny little snippets of time where you've got about half an hour to do something and you want to get it all done, but you don't want to sit around waiting for paint to dry. Now I grabbed the stamp set actually from the More Than Words collection, and it just has Love This, and I'm just stamping that all over the page, just kind of keeping it to the edges where I have a feeling it will poke through the photos. I'm going through the collection kit now and seeing what papers I wanted to use, and because I had so many photos on this layout, I couldn't use too much paper otherwise, like to map my photos, because otherwise the whole thing would just be all papery. And in a layout like this, especially with so many pics, I feel like you do need a bit of blank space, a bit of white space. Doesn't have to technically be white, but just a bit of empty area for your eye to rest on so that it's not too overwhelmed by all the things. So off camera I matted all of my pictures with white tissue paper, and then I matted 2 of them with this bluey painty watercolory goodness, and I made it so that they're the photos on the top and the bottom. I also matted my pictures with a beautiful grey paper from the collection, and it's like a grey, kind of looks like sun rays coming out, and it's gorgeous. And I'm just trying to line up my photos. I lined up these ones first and then worked out, and I wanted these other 2 to match up so that it was all kind of an off-centered grid, a rectangular grid. And then I wasn't really happy with the background, that there wasn't any paint peeking through on the left-hand side. I thought it kind of stopped a bit too abruptly. And so I decided to just grab my watercolors and just fix that up a little bit. I try to jump on opportunities when I can use beachy kind of colors or themes in my scrapbooking, because I don't do the beach very often. If you're new to my channel, I'm a redhead, and redheads don't agree with sunshine a lot of the time. I'd say 90% of redheads don't agree with the sunshine. That's just my own statistic. 90% of the redheads that I know, which is like 2 people, definitely don't agree with sunshine. And it's just one of those things that I think that I have to pick my time of day to go to the beach. So you can see here that I'm not in these pictures, because I'm pretty sure I had a giant hat and sunglasses, so you couldn't actually really see my face. I'm going through the chipboard, and something I really like about the chipboard this collection is that instead of being on one sheet with sticky backs, it's all separate, non-adhesive in a packet, and it's so much easier because you can just move it around the layout and kind of figure out where you want it to go before you actually stick it down. I'm using some of the clear stickers, and these are something new which I'm liking. When I first picked up the packet, I didn't realize that it had 2 sides, so make sure if you buy this sticker sheet that you look at the other side as well, because there's another sticker sheet. I totally didn't know that. I added the title Totally Awesome, and I love how that overlays on the beach sand. I really enjoy when I can overlap things onto kind of landscapey elements, so things like grass or sky or sand or the sea, anything that it doesn't really matter how much you cover it up, because your eye can identify what it is already, so you automatically know that that's sand. So if you cover up a little bit of it, it doesn't matter. I really like that. Then I grabbed this chipboard Big Thumbs Up. It reminds me of Facebook because it's dark blue, and I thought I'd put that there. And I decided to do my journaling up the side of the page for something a little bit different. I did 3 lines of journaling on this side and then just continued it up the top there. And I think that's a really nice kind of, it makes you double look at the layout, because it's a design feature in itself, which sounds so silly, but it is. All these little parts kind of play together to make our completed scrapbook page. And so by changing one little thing like the direction of your journaling, it can really make a completely different impact on your page. I decided that I needed some more embellishments. I wasn't just happy with that, just having that thumb there. And I decided to go with stars. Stars are something that always remind me of the beach, I think because of starfish, and even just looking like out at the sea with the stars at night. I think I just always associate the beach with stars. Let me know what you associate the beach with. Do you, like, if you were scrapping a beachy layout, would you automatically go for things like sandcastles and buckets and spades? Or is there a symbol that reminds you of the beach, or a colour that's different than just yellow, orange, blue? And tell me why. I also forgot to add that I added a clear sticker down the bottom there, those little blue, what are they called, scallopy little things down in the bottom corner. That's a sticker from the clear sticker sheet, and kind of ties in the oceany feel. So even though this isn't a beachy themed collection, it's a boy themed collection, I was able to really make it work for my theme. So always look outside the box of collections and what you think they're meant for, because you can always twist and turn it to suit what you need to. I'm adding some splatters now, and I was big and brave and did black splatters, which is a bit risky. It can be quite risky. I just used my watercolors for that, but the layout's pretty much finished. It is harder on these 9x12 or 8.5x11 sizes to make multiple photos work, especially when you have so many multiple photos, but I think I made it work. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to head over to the Coco Vanilla blog if you'd like to see more up-close pictures of my layout and see what some of the other D team members are making with this awesome new collection. And you can also purchase the collection over there or head to your local scrapbook stockist and see if they have it. Anyway, peeps, I hope you have a lovely rest of the week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!